Hello everyone and welcome. So I have recently been using an unsplash picture which is by Jacob Pabis, which is this one, and I've been trying different ways of doing this this picture. I didn't want to do it in monotone again. So my first attempt was this quite muted picture here. I then decided perhaps it needed some colour. So you can see I've added a little bit more colour in. I've changed it slightly each time. The house is slightly different. But I think I probably need to make the snow have some blue in it rather to kind of match the sky. So I'm now on attempt number 3, which if I move this all over I might be able to get a little bit more in for you, like so. So let's have a try at doing this again. So this is something that happens quite a lot, where I will do something, you know, quite a few more times than just the once, trying to get it right so that I can get this sky in. I'm going to do that a little bit kind of wet in wet, I think. And I'm going to be using the Verdita Blue, which is Michael Harding's Verdita Blue, but there are other versions of Verdita Blue. But I want it to be one of those really brilliant, bright skies that we sometimes get in the winter. It's like a gorgeous, gorgeous bright blue. And it's really in contrast with everything becoming a little bit bare when it comes to the trees and the bushes and things like that. And obviously it is a great contrast for the white of snow. So there we go. Let's get this blue sky in. I quite like that. I'm okay with that. There we go. And even though that's still wet, I'm going to get some colour in for these trees that are coming up either side. And I'm going to start off using some of the Belladonna, I think this is called. Let me just double check. Yes, this one is Belladonna. So we're going to pop this Belladonna in here. And also over here. And I'm then going to add in some of this Ochre Eclairs Lemon, or I'm just going to call it lemon ochre as usual. So we're going to pop this lemon ochre in there. And we want some on this side as well. Says that we've got quite a mixture of colours going on here. Obviously purple and yellow are opposite on the colour wheel, so it adds a bit of a neutral. We've got quite a lot of colour in there, or rather watery colour in there, so I'm just going to remove a little bit of that, otherwise it'll take forever to dry. There we go. But I quite like the burst of the lemon coming through the purple there. Right. Next, I'm going to need that to dry. So let's just pause for a moment and I'll be back in a sec. Okay, there we go. I've just dried that off a little bit. And for my next job, I think I'm going to get this, let's change my brush, get this house in, or barn, or whatever we want to call it. And I'm just going to mix the yellow ochre and the belladonna. I want to see what colour we get there. I might need to add a little bit, that might be too much, of the verditer blue. There we go. And now I've got this kind of, what should we call it? Neutral. It's a kind of a neutral, but it's made up of the three colours that I've already used. In fact, I might need my smaller brush. Let's just... so that we can get this roof in, like so. There. I'm then going to use the very same colour, this kind of neutral with the for the road. Or stony pathway, or it's probably a road, isn't it? We'll call it a road. But one of those more kind of farm tracky roads than anything else. There we go. That gets our bit of road in there. And I don't mind that that's still wet, because I'm now going to get my bleed proof white out to get my snow in. And we'll just, we don't want a perfect edge there. This paper is actually quite a cream colour, if you notice the colour of the barn now compared to where I've put my bleed proof white. There we go. Then we've got some white for the snow. I think I'm going to leave the barn that kind of creamy colour. I will just put some windows and things in a bit. But I need this that I've done now to dry. So yet again, quick pause. Okay, so I've dried that off now. And now I want to do something else with these trees. So I'm going to continue to use my kind of muted down colour that is all three colours mixed together, and I just want to get some indications of the trees going on. I don't mind that some of my pencil marks are showing because I'm also going to be using a black pen and a white pen in a little bit. So here I just want to get those kind of brown okay. So what we will do while that dries is we will put the details into the barn or the house, whatever we want to call it. So let's get a couple of windows in here without getting my head in view. And we could maybe have the door over here. And I might go over those again with my pen, but that's where I'm leaving it for now. And so let's get our black pen, and we're going to bring these trees up. And as you can notice, I'm really not joining things up as such, because to be honest, our eyes will do that anyway. And then again on this side. And where's my white? There you are. There's my white. Then we're going to, is that working? Yes, it is. We are going to add in some white. I mean, I guess, how would I describe it? I just kind of let the pens skip. Skip, is that the right word? rather than try to draw perfectly. I just want to give an indication that, you know, these have got some snow on them, and this is still in my sketchbook, so I'm obviously not, I'm not expecting this to be perfect. I'm still trying to work out what it is that is going to be best to try and capture this scene. I think we can probably add a little bit to the bottom there, and a bit to the bottom here, so that we've got some kind of an edge going on. And we'll do that over here. In fact, we might have a little bit of that going on all the way across there. To show that it's a bit of a stony. Right, now then, I think I'm going to define these windows a little bit more. Like so. And maybe we'll just indicate some kind of, and I think we might add something to the roof here. Which I don't want to be too perfect again. But I just think it needs a little bit more of something, because I think I need something with a little bit more dark in it. I keep moving this around. I'm hoping I'm not too much out of shot. Just to get a bit of texture in, and then this is going to, oh yeah, there we go. We could maybe get a little bit of the snow along the top there. Just an inkling like that. Now I'm going to, because this is just very flat, this white, so I think we'll just use this one. I'm going to go back to my Verdita blue that I used in the sky, but quite watered down. And also I just want a kind of a damp brush, not a completely wet brush. And then here and there I just want to it to show that it's not completely flat really. So I'm just using a damp brush now to indicate something else going on with that snow, because it's all looking a little bit too flat. So let's just use this to just kind of dampen that down a bit. Then we've got the blue echoing in the snow, which I think is a lot better. Okay, well, do we need anything else there? Fence at the back maybe. I'll just wiggle this around a little bit. That's a little bit rickety. We don't want it to look perfect yet again. Okay, so there we have it. And actually, I think that looks a lot better than this one that I did with the purple. And I think it's a lot better than this one, which was almost too muted. So, I don't know. Number 1, number 2, or number 3? Which do you prefer? Perhaps I need to practice more. Let me know what you think and what you might have done differently to me. Okay, all comments very welcome. Have a good morning, afternoon or evening. And I've got some suggestions that have come through on looking at some inks, fountain pens, how to clean the fountain pens, change the colour ink in them, and also how I might use one of my little travel setups when I'm actually out and about. So I'm hoping to be actually film myself going out and using them. So a couple of things that are coming up soonish. I can't guarantee exactly when, but hopefully not too far into the future. Keep your comments coming, and please do subscribe. Thank you all very much, and take care.